morning, everyone. I kind of felt like I was running a little bit late this morning, but I got here right on time. But I got to ask you, how long did it take you to get here this morning? It took me 66 years, 8 months, 16 days, 9 years, and 30 minutes, and however many seconds to get right here, right now. And that's the point of what I'm wanting to try to explain to you. In the course of my life and my career, October 9th of 2023 is going to be 49 years in the industry, being able to be in the publishing industry, not only as a writer, producer, or director, or a marketing, sales, analyst, but I've had the opportunity of getting right here, right now. I do not believe in coincidences anymore in life. I think that things happen for a reason beyond any personal understanding that we have right now. So I'm here to talk about our company because we moved back to Florida. I'm from Florida. My grandfather was my great-grandfather was a banker in Gainesville. My mother was born about 50 miles northwest of here in Palatka, Lake Butler. Now, I was born on the Emerald Coast on a military reservation, the largest in the country, which is Eglin Air Force Base. But because of that, our family moved around, so I was subjected to different cultures. I spent 3 years of my life in mid-60s in Asia, where I was influenced by Armed Forces Radio. And little did I realize that about 6 years later, I would be in the business in Florida, in the Panhandle. And on my very first night of being in this business, I was able to run across and start brushing up against big stars like Dolly Parton. She has some of the biggest hits then, and she has some of the biggest hits now. And so with that in mind, it became an effort in my years of being in the industry. I've been in the industry for 9 years before I hit my very first major market radio station. And I was the rookie. But it became an idea and a concept of what we call TOMA, which is now emerging into the cultural mainstream right now. That cultural mainstream is called TOMA, top of mind awareness, being aware of what's going on all around you all the time, because as a radio personality or a producer or a director or somebody working in the industry, you have to understand what is going on at all times in the world so that you can relate that to an audience. Now fast forward to right here, right now. We put up about $15,000 or more in the last year working to acquire a local AM/FM radio station. Currently, we have an online radio station, which is broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We're a standalone radio station within the iHeart network. I used to work with iHeart. I used to work with Clear Channel and a bunch of the radio stations. And in doing so, being able to formulate a concept that started 9 years after I got into radio, when I hit my first major market in Salt Lake City. With that in mind, it became something of a quest to understand the elements of what we're working towards, and realizing that all of the things that are around us right now, we cannot take with us anymore. So it's better for us to be able to give forward and move forward. And so I've been transitioning into a not-for-profit. So we have a not-for-profit company called America's Coast to Coast Entertainment Network that's registered here in Ocala, Florida. We moved our studios from Colorado back in 2020. And so we came back to Florida because we looked at the opportunities here and being able to develop the 501c3, which we are now a registered 501c3, but we also have a for-profit company called All American Streaming. And so it's been a long, long road in being able to come to this point where we want to try and acquire the radio station here locally to put into effect the concept of our ability of connecting a businessman and the charitable organizations, and being able to give back to the not-for-profit, or from the for-profit to the local charities, and being able to connect those businesses with the charities themselves. So the businesses typically will be able to offer their support to the local charities, but in giving back a minimum on the for-profit side of a local radio station, at least 260 minutes a day in revenue and advertising toward these local charities connecting these businesses together. And so that's where we are right here, right now, and in time and space, and being able to provide that and move forward, because it's been a very long road. We have been broadcasting probably since 2006 at this time. And so we put a lot of effort in. We just became members of the chamber probably about 3 to 4 months ago. And in doing so, what we are looking for is to try to connect with people in the business side and becoming a company that is heavily involved with concerts and promotions and marketing and sales, and connecting each and every one of you as business people who are looking to make those connections with one another. And we can do that, and I think we have something to thrive on. So we're here with America's Coast to Coast Entertainment Network and All American Streaming, and I'm glad to answer any questions for you.
All right, round of applause.